Hi, welcome to Reddit Audio Stories official channel. We hope you will have fun with us. I appreciate your visit to my channel dedicated to love stories. I encourage you to subscribe and give it a thumbs up as it serves as great motivation for me to create new content. Enjoy watching. Morning, sweetheart. Hey Theodore, what's the matter, honey? You look terrible. Damien knows about us. Theodore. He ran into me this morning, he said. One of his friends saw us at the restaurant last night. Shit, that could complicate things. Clara. But it's not the end of the world. We've talked about this possibility. I know, Theodore, but when it came down to it, it hurt. After all, Damien and I have been married for 15 years and have 2 kids. What did you tell him? Pretty much the same thing we agreed on. I didn't deny it, you know. A terrible liar. Theodore. So like I said, I pretty much follow the script you suggested. I told her the truth, that you're a successful career woman, a lawyer, no less, who's been married to a simple mechanic most of her adult life, a guy who never tried to better himself. That for once in your life you wanted to be with an alpha male, someone who was your equal, a man who could take responsibility, not someone who would obey your wishes at every turn, yes, to a large extent, but don't burden him too much. Now you have your own business and your profession has supported you and the kids. It's just that when we rehearsed this, I felt I deserved someone like you. But when you reminded me of the years of support, both emotional and financial, that he would given in me, then it all rang a little hollow. You know what I mean. You told him everything, that if you didn't accept the status, that the firm would support human divorce and leave him penniless. Yes. I did, Theodore. The only problem is he didn't seem to care about any of it. He was just saying he couldn't believe I would leave him after all his loyalty. I have to say, Theodore, he was hurt. I tried to tell him that I wasn't abandoning him. I just felt he deserved a little more. But I don't think he realized that I don't want to lose him. Theodore, a little more. Clara, I'm insulted you, said you like sleeping with me. You told me it took you where the good hubby hadn't taken you in years. Did you or did you not tell me that you've never had sex like this before? Yes, that's what I said. Theodore. But I told you I didn't have that experience when I married Damien, and he was always so smooth. You're so different, so bossy and demanding. He just dominated me. Yes, and I will continue to destroy you. Love, your husband will have to accept that you now have an extra dimension with you. He's lost his leadership status. I am the alpha male here, and he will have to accept that. Still, I hate to think that I cost you 16 years of marriage. Tell you what, I'll do some paperwork and I'll go see him this afternoon. Let me get the address of his shop. What paperwork, Theodore? Anything I can think of, Clara. You know the joke we play on all the global fools' orders, forbidding him to come near you, me, or your house papers. Freezing his company's bank accounts is just the beginning. Flooding in with papers he has no right to know about is just a bluff. Your Huey will soon be told in no uncertain terms who the alpha is. Trust me, honey. By the time he's done bullying him, he'll be begging you to give him everything you want. I don't know, Dake. You didn't see his face this morning. 1417 Mr. Deities. May I come in my name, as I know who you are? Well, it saves time. I believe Clara told you this morning that the arrangement we have with her will continue for the foreseeable future. I don't think she told you why you would allow it if I could leave my briefcase here. Thank you. I don't know if you know this, but I own the company Clara works for. That means I have over 20 lawyers at my disposal, and I can absolutely assure you that every one of them was chosen for their excellent track record of winning cases. More than half of them have experience in divorce law, and believe me, I will not hesitate to pit each and every one of them against you. These documents are what I have prepared this morning. I will go over them briefly. This is a petition for divorce. You see, your wife has already signed it. This is an order that freezes your business accounts until the business is sold in an agreement. This is an order giving you 26 hours to leave your marital home. These 4 restraining orders keep you at least 220 feet from me, Clara, your home, and our place of business. Do you realize what's going to happen? Daimon. I will have you so inundated with demands you won't be able to move. You'll finally give up when you won't have a penny left to find the worst lawyer in the world. And you know what? And in the meantime, I'll have your wife. Yes. I can see that you're bigger and stronger than me, but you have to realize that Neanderthals don't rule the world anymore. Brains conquered Bran years ago. Look, Mr. Deities. It doesn't have to be that way at all. Let's keep the status quo, shall we? I'll keep sleeping with her when I want to, and with you when she wants me to. Just like the last 4 months. Someday I'll get sick of her, and then she'll be all yours again. All right. I set my piece. Let's face it. If you were all she needed, we wouldn't be here. Now would we? My advice is to accept it. Think about it. Use it as an opportunity to get better. But a word of advice, my friend, leave your wife alone. I stole her from you. Not because I was the most charming guy who tried, but because I was an alpha male and told her how it would end just like I'm going to do with you. Are you done yet? I see that like much of today's society, you have no idea what the term alpha male means. Do you want a simple mechanic to explain it to you? Come on, Damien. Tell me what it means. Well, they say it's better to see once than hear 100 times. With these words, Damien takes half a step forward and slams his right fist into the lawyer's face. There is a satisfying crunch of gristle and teeth as he is struck. Theodore falls to the floor, leaning his back against the workshop wall with an expression of utter astonishment clearly visible on the undamaged part of his face. Before the pain can really penetrate him, Theron lifts Theodore to his feet but immediately drops him again with an uppercut to the diaphragm. This time, Theodore lies on his side trying to catch his breath. Just as Theodore struggles to breathe, Dayan's steel right boot strikes the lawyer's outstretched arm, breaking his wrist and several bones in his hand. A boot strike to the chest which breaks 3 ribs, apices Dayan's fury for a moment, and Mr. Alpha, it would help a lot if he would stop shrieking. I'm trying to teach you something, by the way. Thanks for making me break the promise I made to myself in high school to never use my height and strength to do harm. I was going to leave you out of the consequences of Clara's actions until you barged in here and rubbed it in my face. Even quiet men have their breaking points. Damien puts his foot on Theodore's throat before getting his attention again. Now back to your education. The Turner alpha male comes from the wolf pack. He is the one wolf who tells everyone else what to do. He may not be the smartest or even the biggest wolf, but he is the meanest bastard one that will kill without the slightest hesitation. He is absolutely ruthless, and you, son, are not even close. You may be an alpha in the small world of your air-conditioned office, but out here in the big bad world, you're just another pissing faggot. And I really wouldn't call you smart. You didn't even bring witnesses this whole. Now let's look at a possible future. The first option is to report this to the police. Maybe I'll get arrested, maybe not, maybe I'll get bail, maybe not, maybe they'll blame me. Maybe not. There are a lot of possibilities. Theodore. Worst case scenario, I get 5 years in prison, 5 years, learning how to hurt people, how to kill and hide a body so no one can find it. And then when my apprenticeship is over, we'll have another conversation like this or charlatan. You can chalk it up to experience. Use this as one of your lessons in what can happen when you sleep with another man's wife. Now back off. I have some cleaning to do thanks to you bleeding and Jesus Christ shifting on the floor of my nice clean workshop. Alpha. My fucking ass 1851. Theodore, I'm waiting for you in the office. I thought you'd be back by now. Where are you? I just got admitted after 3 hours in surgery. Clara. Oh, my God, what happened? Did you have an accident? No. Clara, I underestimated your husband. I foolishly went to see him alone. He broke my nose, my left arm, some ribs, and maybe my cheekbone. I can't believe it. Theodore. As far as I know, he was never violent. Believe me, it's true. If you want, I can show you the x-rays. Oh my God. I can't believe it. He's not. My Damien, is there any way to stop him from going to the police? We're responsible for something. Despite what he's done, Damien doesn't deserve to go to jail for this. The police already called Clara. I told them I was hit by an unknown driver. Your sweet, gentle husband told me that as bad as I feel right now, this is just the down payment on what I can expect. If I press charges, I can't risk it again. Clara. I have decided to keep my mouth shut. That sounds a little silly. Theodore. It sounds like you're afraid of him. I can't believe that Damien wouldn't hurt a fly. Well, believe me, I've got the broken bones to prove it. I'm just doing what I need to do to survive. Clara, I've had to go now. They've got me full of pain pills and they're starting to kick in. 9 o'clock. I'm Theodore's hospital bed. Theodore. Theodore, you gotta help me. I drove until 8 o'clock last night. I didn't know if it would be safe to come home. I tried to call in Damon to ask, but he never answered. When I finally ventured home, all the locks had been changed. I couldn't get in. I ended up staying at my sister's house. I checked this morning and all our bank accounts are empty and none of our credit cards are working. You've got to help me, and you get one of the divorce people to start the process of getting Damon out of the house. Can I stay with you until then? No. Clara, but why? Theodore, because of all this, if I use the company's assets and resources to help you, he'll have a reason to come after me again. In fact, I'm going to take it easy. You're fired. Clara. I'll pay you an extra 4-way severance. If you pack your bags and leave today, can you tell Damien? I fired you if you see him, please, didn't you hear me? Theodore. Damien cleaned me out with no money, no job, and your help. I'm in the shit from the start. I'm sorry. Clara, you didn't see your husband's face when he hit me. I knew what I have to do. You're pathetic, Theodore. Yesterday you were bragging about being an alpha male. Today you're trembling and worried that my husband, who is 10 times your size, is hiding under your bed. How I could think I would be a queen if I ended up with you was beyond me, and you are deluded to think I would ever be serious with a traitor like you. A prologue. 10 o'clock in the afternoon. Clara was sitting in her car, stopped on the shoulder of the road with empty credit cards and no cash. It was only a matter of time before she ran out of gas. Luckily, Damien hadn't fought to cancel her cell phone service, or was he being calculating, cruel? He drove for the town where his 2 sons lived in search of shelter. In all these years, they had never let more than an hour pass before answering his messages. He had started calling them. After 10 in the morning, he checked the messages one more time. 0. Clara sighed, grabbed her useless purse and got out of the car, unzipping her skirt. She stepped onto the sidewalk and stuck out her thumb. The approaching predator in the wrecked van smiled inwardly at the sight of the lone moment on the sidewalk. He didn't consider himself an alpha male, even he was wise enough to realize that Lunners weren't called that. His smile grew wider as he approached her. This stretch of road had always been productive for him. Dear friends, thank you very much for watching. Leave comments, put likes, share with friends and subscribe to the channel.